school, I could have given up. Settling for a paycheck and material possessions, I could have given up. But with any journey, there's bound to be struggle, and if we don't at least try, we'll never know how much we really can do. Last year, I stood on this stage and invited you to join me in a campaign called Redéfinir les frontières du possible, where with the help of my two best friends, David and Alex, we were going to climb the largest mountain in Africa, Kilimanjaro, and raise over $500,000 for sustainable clean water in East Africa that was facing one of the largest droughts they've seen in over 60 years. I refused to stand by and watch a community suffer that had helped me find my heart and my passion for changing the world. And this past June, my buddies and I stood at the bottom of the mountain, determined to get to the top. And believe me when I say, there were definitely moments that I wanted to give up. Now, not only did my friends keep me going, but along the way up Kilimanjaro, there's these beautiful man-made piles of rocks called cairns. And climbers make these cairns to not only leave their mark on the mountain, but cairns are also a symbol for when you are lost. They literally show you the path again. And each day as I passed these cairns, I thought, this is for everybody who's ever felt like they didn't fit in. There's a path, keep climbing. This is for anybody who's ever felt like they were lost. There's a path, keep climbing. This is for everybody who felt powerless or voiceless. There's a path, keep climbing. And as I passed these cairns, I thought of all of you, back home and here at We Day, who worked so hard to create a path towards a better world. And a cairn is also a symbol for teamwork and unity. Look around this theater. Roughly 2,000 of us, like one giant cairn in unity, and there's no place on earth that showcases teamwork like all of us here today. On the mountain, my team was our guide Paul and my two best friends David and Alex, and I knew that if I was going to get to the top, I was going to need to ask for help. And some may see asking for help as a sign of weakness. But I have lived and learned that a true leader knows when to ask for help. Now, I was determined to do a lot of this on my own, but when we got to the mountain, I was walking way more on my hands than we ever anticipated, and contrary to popular belief, your arms are meant to be walked on, and well, let's be honest, I can't really afford to lose any more limbs at this point. So I had to dig deep and find courage inside me that I didn't even know existed. My buddies were really great at giving me encouraging words like, this is really inspiring, keep going, Spence, just a few more steps. And when my mind was waging war with my body, and my wrists and elbows and shoulders were throbbing to stop, and my mother's voice in my head was saying, please take care of yourself. It was my buddies' words of encouragement that pushed, pulled, and in my weakest moments, literally carried me to the top. Not only that, I had to let go a little bit and literally let my friends and the porters carry me a few times on this climb. In fact, the porters literally strapped me to their back in a blanket, and as we were walking, my buddy David came up behind me and said, look, Spence, I'm only going to tell this to you once, but you look really cute tied to this guy's back. Now, as we tackle our own mountains in life, we have to give ourselves permission to ask for help. Because we're not going to know all the answers, and really, let's be honest, we shouldn't be climbing on our own anyway. And sometimes it's the people that you don't think need help that need it too. And I discovered this on Summit Day. Because you see, I was in that small percentage of people where altitude sickness didn't bother me at all. But around 18,000 feet, David and Alex got hit hard with headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, stumbling, and I watched as my support system literally fell to their knees. And in that moment, I thought two things. I thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe we just give up and go back. And I also thought, this is the first time in my entire life where I wish that I had legs today. Because if I had legs, now I could be the one to carry my friends. But I didn't, so I dug deep, and instead I did what I could do. I stood in between them on my hands, and slowly we started to walk, and suddenly I was the one telling them, just a few more steps, we can make it together. And we knew that I was going to need help to the top, but in that moment, David and Alex needed me. And hand over hand, and foot in front of foot, we slowly walked together until we made it to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. but we did this to prove, just like you do every single day, that just because the world tells us something is impossible, doesn't mean we have to believe it. This year you're going to be climbing your own mountains for social change, and you're going to be facing obstacles. It's in those moments that you have to find your own cairn and keep climbing. My cairn this year is this water Rafiki friend chain to remind me of the work that still needs to be done for clean water. That if I, Spencer West, can climb the largest mountain in Africa, what more can you do? The world needs you. Next year I want to be able to stand here and celebrate how you redefine possible. There is no can'ts. There is no won'ts.
There's
only how. So let's start climbing together. And I'll meet you at the summit.